Yeah, guys, I'm eating, up late night, hungry, live, thinking about my car. I know you guys don't know this, but I'm the proud owner of a Camaro. Woohoo! Well, being the proud owner of a Camaro, especially a manual one, what comes with that? Problems, right? Problems. And I've got one of the bigger problems with mine. Of course, one of the bigger problems, trying to get my ranch on, you feel me? You feel me? Trying to get my ranch on, ranch on. So I've got one of the bigger problems, and that's the fact that mine's is a manual, 6 speed. And of course, another pouch here because I want a soda, but I need to be cutting back. I want to, what's that? Yeah, no, it's another story. I said mine's a manual, so it's a little bit more headache to it. Like I'm changing the clutch, like it's what I'm about to show you guys. I'm in the process of doing now. But unfortunately, before I can show you guys that, y'all get to see me snack away. I'm not 200 plus subs. Like, comment, subscribe when you see this. Like I said, these DiGiorno like little bite thingies, bussin'. And I ain't just saying that just to say it. 200 something subs. Ain't nobody sponsoring the kid. I ain't getting paid off of nothing. I'm just doing this just to do something. Because I'm always up late night. Always. Look. I know what you're thinking. Hey, a mini hot pocket. Or little pizza roll thingies. Nah, bro. How my man J Main say, it hit different. Big facts. No cap. Especially with that crab ranch on it, it hit different. But, like I said, I want to show y'all what I'm working on. I'm gonna set this in the microwave for a second. Take my little juice with me. Might flip the screen on y'all though, so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay. Walking down the hall, I ain't going up the steps. Turn the outside light on for a second. Maybe I can get a decent view. Decent viewski. But the old mirror right there. The old mirror right there, sitting up in the air. Of course, it's raining. You feel me? My other car sitting over there, another car sitting over there, other car sitting right here. You feel me? Like, what's up? But yeah, this is my driveway. As you can see, we got a total of 1, 2, 3, 4 cars, and the main one that I want to drive, like to drive, right there, my baby, my Camaro, she down. And so the Ford 500 over there in the corner, I be whipping that. It's all right too for what it is. Big inside, big trunk space, but I got the transmission, everything up out of there. She ready. Hit some light for you guys. Like I said, I'm working on her. She's a work in progress. We about to go into my garage though. Definitely a work in progress. Never mind all the junk. I'm in the process of cleaning. As you can see, tools everywhere. Got to get this table out of here. I'm about to sell it anyway. But as y'all can see, my exhaust system's on the ground. Exhaust system's on the ground. Transmission, cooling, of course, that comes out. Let me see if I can show y'all. Everything's ready to go. You see, I know y'all see that wire brush. So what's that mean? Cleaned out the inside of the bell housing, people. When you're changing a clutch, you need to clean out that bell housing. Point blank and period. When you pull that transmission back, period, you need to clean that bell housing. Like I said, I'm working on it. She's an older model. She's a 2011 Chevrolet Camaro. She's not the V8 big boy. She's a V6, but she gets the job done. I don't care what nobody got to say. She gets the job done. And as you can see, I do all my work myself. Well, I got a buddy of mine used to work for me with my trucking company. Got a buddy of mine. He helps me out a lot. We like to call him Whole Hoss. Hoss. Hoss, if you see this, shout out to you. But yeah, guys, this is what we do here. This is what we do. But working on her. But the problem is, as y'all can see, every day, bro, like it's something. All right, so I got the clutch down. I got the transmission down, right? Got the transmission down. Clutch hadn't came in. No, got the transmission down. I was gonna change just the slave cylinder, the clutch slave cylinder. Uncle Charlie threw me off from that. No, well, you got about 3 months after that clutch pad gonna go and that pressure plate move, because it's gonna be too much pressure on it, okay? So, ordered the clutch. I'm gonna tell y'all another story about that. Thank you, Amazon. Oh my goodness. The lick. I hit the lick. And y'all wouldn't believe what I got the clutch for. Another story, another time. Anyway, got the clutch. Clutch comes in. I realized the bolts, the star bolts that come, well, they're hexagon. They're hexagon. They're Allen bolts that come out of the flywheel. You can't go back in with them. Don't know why, don't care why. Not gonna chance it. If they say do not go back in with them, I'm not going back in with them. Actually, matter of fact, guys, I've got the old flywheel sitting over here. I didn't even realize I brought it in. Well, I did, but I didn't. As you see, my drive shaft's right here on the ground. It's a wreck in here, guys, but it's coming together. The old, that's the old flywheel right there. As you can see, it is, whew. It's pretty level for what it is. It could probably be resurfaced, but the problem with these, they're hydraulic, so you got to be very careful. Like, I was told I'm better off taking a drill and some sandpaper at home and doing it myself, and I was told that by several shops. But either way, the clutch kit I got came with the whole works, the whole shebang. Flywheel, pressure plate. Some of you guys call it clutch cover. It's a pressure plate. Get it right. It's a pressure plate. The clutch disc, the special tool for the throwout bearing, for the guide to center the clutch disc, make sure everything's centered. But anyway, it came with everything. I'm gonna show y'all that in just a second. But man, like I said, the problem is the bolts. I didn't have them, or had to go to Chevrolet, ordered the bolts. They came in next day, actually today. Get up, I get the phone call. Hey, your bolts are in, buddy. You want to come on down and grab them up? Sure, no problem. Get up, get dressed, walk out the door. It looks like it's about to storm. Hadn't been paying attention to the weather here in good old North Kakalaki. And what do you know? We catch the remnants off of that good old storm. I don't know, it's a hurricane, tropical storm, whatever, came out of Florida. I think it was Lee or something, I don't know. Whatever. And it's supposed to rain again tomorrow, 2 days of it. So now that's 2 days that I gotta wait. And not only that, but then I realized I forgot to go get the rear main seal. Because when you're changing something like a clutch, anytime you're doing something where you got to bring that transmission down, there's just certain things that you want to go ahead and touch on while you're there. It's no sense in not doing it, because if something goes wrong afterwards, aside from like the clutch, because the clutch and the rear main seal, those are two separate things. The rear main seal sits around the crankshaft. So I'm like, I'm here already. I've already got the clutch down. Yes, I do the work myself, but no, clearly, guys, I don't want to have to go back through that. You know what I mean? I just don't. So I might as well change the rear main seal while I'm there. No problem, right? Remember checking out on one of the local stores. I'm not gonna say the names, no advertisement, but one of the local stores had the clutch, the rear main seal in stock. I remember looking at it, looking it up. So I didn't have to worry about ordering like I did a lot of other parts and stuff. So I was like, I'm just gonna run and go get it. This one will work. It's just a rear main seal. No sense in going all high-tech super performance with this, right? Okay. Well, today when it hits me, like, well, it's raining next 2 days. Let me go and get this thing. So blah, blah, blah. By the time I realize it, stores are closing up. And tonight I'm looking online, and the one that I found locally here in the area has been sold. It is no longer in stock. It has to order. Can't order it to tomorrow, which means it probably won't come into the following day or so. By the end it'll stop raining, but I might lose another day. So overall, what I'm saying is, when you're changing a transmission, yes, it's a quick job, you know, but I'm doing it by myself. As you can see, my vehicle's not sitting sky high up in the air. I'm under there on my stomach or on my back fighting, you know. But I'm getting the job done. Me and a buddy of mine. We know what we're doing. We're not sky high. We don't have a lift to put it on in the air. We're doing everything manually here. You know, old school hand game working. Man hands. You see it, man hands. We'll sleep you. We'll sleep you. I'm a slim guy. But you see these knuckles, you see that fist. We'll sleep you, we'll sleep you. That's another story for another time. But anyway, let me show y'all the new clutch set. The new clutch kit came with everything. It definitely came with everything. Surprisingly, when I tell you guys that story, it's gonna blow y'all's mind. Dirt cheap, dirt cheap. Okay, so I'm gonna come in here, close the garage up. Back in here. Oh, I gotta back to my food too before I show you guys. I'm tripping. And y'all was just gonna let me bypass my food, right? Like I ain't hungry. Like I ain't got red ants on that pussy. Okay, so. Right thing. Little DiGiorno joints. Bussin', bro. Tell you. So, okay. Gotta get another one. Okay, so, excuse me, guys. Where's my manners? Wash it down. Ranch on my lip? No. Rinse it down. Okay, so here's my clutch kit. Well, never mind that. Let's just heat gun. When I put the Camaro back together, thinking about tinting my windows finally. So, a good friend of mine, she brought me that today as a gift. By the way, these are those bolts that I was talking about that I had to order from the dealership. Boy. Yeah, that's me. So these are those bolts that I was telling you about. Anyway, always have you some Loctite or something, man. You need some good stuff too. Don't just buy nothing cheap just because. Get you some good old thread lock, some good stuff. Don't buy that cheap stuff. I'm telling you, you're gonna regret it. When you're talking about going in with things like transmissions and clutches and things of that nature, you need something that can hold up the test of time. But like I said, these are those bolts. There's 8 of them in here. So yeah, it's 8 of them in this package. And they come with a little bit of thread lock on them. They do come with a little, I can't get the camera to focus. There we go. Okay, you see the little blue strip right there, the blue section? That's thread lock, just like what I got right there. But it's pre-dried, so you could use it like that, but my recommendations would be add a little bit more. It's not gonna hurt nothing. And the head of the underneath the nut head or bolt head or whatever, like right there on that rim, let me get focused. Drop your little high temp grease, always, because you don't want this thing to freeze up in position. That's what you don't want. Yeah, you got Loctite right there, so it's gonna be tight, but you don't want this freezing in position. Like, you see the pattern that is? If I can get it to focus, let me see. You see that? Can't just sit a socket wrench on this bad boy. No, sir. No, sir. So, yeah, you see what we're working with there. All right, got that. Now, zip ties, because the little cloth piece that sits around your shifter knob, that's on the inside of it, on the bottom, it ain't no little zip tie. Anywho, so Luke, Uncle Luke, this is the clutch kit. As you can see, came with the special tool. Surprisingly, these are made of plastic. Now on the 3.6, on the 3.6 Camaro, I can't speak for any of the others but on the 3.6 with the manual transmission, it does not have a pilot bearing. So when you take the clutch off, you take the flywheel off, there's no pilot bearing back there in the crankshaft. So, I mean, yeah, there's no pilot bearing back there. So what you do is you use this as your guide, but how you do that, the little hole where the pilot bearing would be, that's what you need this for. And if you look close, it's tape around it. Let me see if I can get it to focus. If you look closely, I got electrical tape wrapped around it, right? So what you do, you wrap the electrical tape around it until it's thick enough that when you stick it in that hole where the pilot bearing would be, it's nice and snug, can't really move around, none of that. Why? I'm about to show you. Remember this, just keep this in mind. So, give me a second here. Flip this camera around. So, I'm gonna take off the pressure plate. Remember that, pressure plate. It's not called clutch cover. Technical terms here. So you got your pressure plate here, right? I'm gonna take that off real quick. Boom, remember, that's the front of it. That's what y'all just saw a second ago. Heavy, 51 pounds total. Anywho, feels like way more. Anywho, so got your pressure plate off right there, right? Okay, remember this special tool. It's gonna go through, it's gonna come through that pressure plate like this. It's gonna go all the way through. It's gonna go through the clutch disc. It's gonna go through the flywheel, and it's gonna sit in that little hole in the back of the crank where the pilot bearing would normally be. But remember, 2011 3.6 does not have a pilot bearing. So anyway, you see the clutch disc. Remember, when removing the clutch disc or when putting a new clutch disc in, there's 2 sides to this thing. There's a slim side, and then there's the fat side. See, this is the fat side, right? Fat side is always facing out from the flywheel, right? Fat side's out and sits inside of here, inside of your pressure plate. The little forks on the pressure plate sits inside that section, right? Fat side, okay? So anyway, let's open that up. It's your clutch disc. Clutch disc, that is the name of this. Clutch disc. You see there's plenty of clutch disc on that. That's gonna last for another 10 years or so. So, okay, this is your flywheel, ladies and gentlemen. This is your hydraulic flywheel. Now, That special tool, once again, it's gonna go through there, and right behind there is where your crank is, where it goes into what would be the pilot bearing. Now, I'm not gonna lift this, well, no, I'm not, yes I am. I'm gonna lift it for you. I'm gonna lift it for you. Only for you guys. Only for you guys will I do this, okay? I'm not gonna pick it all the way up, but I am gonna stand it up a little bit for you guys. Okay, that way y'all can get the gist of what I'm saying exactly. All right, so there's your flywheel, right? Remember that special tool, okay? Your clutch disc, right? Remember I said there is no pilot bearing. I repeat, there is no pilot bearing. So remember that special tool, and let's imagine that the pressure plate is already up here, right? And we come through the pressure plate, right? We come through the pressure plate. Imagine that the pressure plate's already there. Use your imagination. Come through the pressure plate. We come through. Hold on, I gotta get that right. We come through. I'm trying to hold this and do this. It sucks. Okay, so we come through the flywheel and out the back. Now, see that little piece sticking off, right? Sitting off. How do we know that? Okay, there we go. Now the question is, how do we know that the clutch disc is centered on the flywheel? How do we know? Because we wrapped that tape around this side. Remember, we wrapped that tape around? We wrapped that tape around there to fit snug in the hole in the crank, where normally there would be a pilot bearing, but on this vehicle, there's not. That's the reason why we put the tape there. So we know when it goes into that little hole in the crank back here, it's center mass up here, right? And then we can go ahead and bolt everything in, lock everything down. So that's that, right? Yep, that's that. That's how that works. If you got any questions, feel free to drop a comment, and I will try my best to respond to each and every single one of you. Even though right now there's nobody here. But it's my first live, and I really had something to talk about, man. I've been trying to figure out what I'm gonna talk about, because my life, man, is scattered, man. It's scattered, you know, and I pretty much spend a lot of my time to myself, especially the last few years, because the last few years have been the roughest. Changed my life, and in a rough way, in a bad way, but at the same time, it made this stronger. It made this a lot stronger. That's why I got the strength to do things like this, because I've learned the hard lessons that hard work pays off. I had a guy that would have put that thing in for $300. No problem. I had the money. But hard work pays off. If I do it, I know I'm doing it right. And the crazy thing, most people don't know nothing about the fact that there is no pilot bearing back there. And that could have been a mess, but it's not. So plus I'm not a professional mechanic or nothing, but I could work on anything. I ain't got no paperwork, but I can work on and fix anything. We know how that goes through life. We've learned that lesson, right? Everybody doesn't have their credentials, but knows some stuff very well. I could stick with the best of them when we're talking mechanics. Let's say that, guys. Let's put it like that. Master technicians, I could stick with the best of them. Trust and believe that. And over time on my channel, you guys are gonna see that, because I do a lot of work myself on my vehicles. And as you can see out there, between me and the missus, we've got quite a few of them, and there's some other ones scattered out through town that I've got as well. I've got a 92 Ford F-150 XLT. that I want to show you guys is I got it from my lady's family member that passed away, and they gave it to me along with some other things. But we're gonna see. I'm gonna show y'all when I start putting that back together because it needed some TLC already. But when I start putting it back together, you guys are gonna see. Y'all gonna be there for the whole process. The whole process. And I'm gonna try to remember, when you leave a comment, try to remind me, hey man, video, you putting the clutch back together so we can see. You know, because there might be somebody out there that's already done tore that thing down and didn't really know what they were doing, but they made it that far without tearing anything up, but now they're scared to death going back up with it. And they might need that little, you know, guidance. So yeah, just remind me to make that video. And when you're putting this pressure plate back on, make sure that you got it lined up with all your bolt holes correctly so that when you go to lock it down, you don't gotta keep moving it around, you know, because that sucks. That really sucks. Let's see here. I'm supposed to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bolt holes. So what's missing? I'm gonna have to mark this thing, actually. That's the problem I'm having right now. I don't have this thing marked. And I should, right? I should definitely have it marked. How many did I say? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? 6, guys? Was it 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? Okay. 1, no. 1, no. No, definitely not that one. Okay. Let's try it. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Whoops, there it is. Whoops, there it is. It only fits one way. Okay, let me show you what I was dealing with. All right, so you've got these little notches that come up right here. There's a better term for that, and I really can't remember right now, but those little notches right there. So you got 1, 2. Can you see that? 2. Okay, where's that one? 3. And yeah, there's only 3 of those notches, right? So, hold on, make sure. Oh, yeah. Okay, so we're good there. So there's only 3 of those notches, right? And then there's 1, and then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 actual bolt holes. So when you're doing this thing, you want to make sure that everything is lined up correctly to the T, all right? Center mass, showed you guys how to do that. Make sure it's centered. Like they say, top center mass. Make sure that your little notches right here are all there and secure where they need to be, and your bolt holes add up. I'll show you guys how to put this in another time. That actually sits inside the bell housing of the transmission. That's your slave cylinder. Clutch slave cylinder, slave clutch cylinder, or whatever. Yeah. That is just 3 bolts up. Torque specs is like 15 foot-pounds or something like that. You know, anything below 20 is hard to get accurate with anyway, so you better off just hand tightening it and then maybe tapping it with a little something with the torque wrench, about 15 to 20, maybe in between. So that's that, guys. That is all I have for that. Anyway, it's been good. It's been great. I don't know if I told you guys I was gonna show you anything else, but for now, that's been my live. You guys check this video out. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Help me build this channel. Because, like I said, man, I've been through a lot. And not to say that no other man hasn't, but there's so much going on in this head that this physical being has dealt with. And I'm actually writing a book about it. Like my life story / tell all at the same time. Because I always tell people my life has been a movie, man. But like, comment, subscribe. Help me help us grow the channel, get the information out there, whether I'm talking about a clutch or whether I'm talking about installing a clutch, working on a car, or if I'm talking about semi-trucks, because I do drive trucks. I am a Class A CDL holder. I'm also a Class A, B, C, whatever. I'm a CDL instructor as well at an actual academy. I'll talk about that in another video. I'm a barber as well. I'm a brick mason as well, you know, a roofer. I am truly a jack of all trades and a master of quite a few. I've been through a lot. I've learned a lot along my journey in life, and I just feel like it's time for me to start putting stuff out there. That's why if it seems like my videos scattered, you didn't know what he's talking about. He's talking about this, and he's talking about that one day. I know what I'm talking about with every one of those subjects. It's just, I do a lot, and I want to share it with y'all, and you never know who's missing this information. Like, this video is about working on a 2011 V6 Camaro 3.6, taking the clutch out, replacing the clutch. It's hard to find videos about it. So like I said, this has been mine. It's your boy, Mr. Po Boys Do What? And I am out. I thought I was. I don't know how to get out of here. That's crazy, right? That's crazy. If I hit end, does it just end the whole thing? I hope this all went for nothing, guys, but here